Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you to the second quarterfinal contest. This one is a spiritual one, a contest between two faith-based institutions, the Heritage Christian University and the Valley View University. A place at the semi-final is at stake. One of the two schools is looking to make history. Anyone who wins will be historic. It will be the very first time that that school will qualify to the semi-final stage of the Tertiary Business Sense Challenge. This is the 2025 edition of the Tertiary Business Sense Challenge. It is brought to us by Graphic Business in a partnership with the Institute of Chartered Accountants Ghana. Our sponsors, Glyco Life, PwC, Gual Ghana, Papaya Fast Foods, Zenith University College, APP Book Services, Ghana National Association of Teachers, Compu Ghana, MTN Ghana, GCB Bank. The program is streaming live on Facebook Daily Graphic Ghana as well as on YouTube. Our media partners Daily Graphic and Graphic Online. Ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome once again to the second quarterfinal contest. Please join me as I welcome the team from Heritage Christian University on stage. So whilst they join us, Heritage Christian University joined TBSC in 2023. In 2023, they got to the zonal semi-final where they lost to the Pentecost University. They could not make it to the national competition. Last year, 2024, they were at the zonal final where they placed third behind the Central University and the University of Ghana. At the national level, they progressed to this stage last year. This stage last year, they lost to the University of Cape Coast. This year, they want to right the wrongs. This year, they want to make it to the national semi-final for the very first time. And they've put together a team of 4 beautiful ladies, very determined to qualify for the very first time to the semi-final. Ladies, you are welcome on stage. Now, please introduce yourselves.
My name is Gloria Koto, final year human resource student.
Roskala B, final year BBA accounting.
Eliza Sakif, level 200, accounting with computing.
You are welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
Now, how has the preparation been like for this national championship?
We've we've tried our best. I think that's all. Yes, and we've worked on our previous weaknesses and hoping that we see a significant improvement this time.
So you have a very good opportunity to make it to the semi-final for the very first time. Does that make you nervous?
A little. Not very much, but a little.
All right. So what should the people at Amasama expect from you today?
So they should come and wait for us at the stadium junction. We are coming.
Are you coming as winners or as losers?
Definitely as winners.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a level of confidence for Heritage Christian University. I wish you the very best of luck. Competing against the Heritage Christian University is a Valley View University. Please join me as we welcome contestants from Valley View University on stage. So for Valley View University, they are making their second appearance in TBSC. They joined the competition in 2024. That was last year. Last year, they were at the zonal semi-final where they lost to the Central University. They could not make it to the final. At the national level, they lost to the University for Development Studies last year at the round of 16. In 2025, they have progressed from those performances of 2024. This time they made it to the zonal final. This time they made it to the second place finish at the zonal level. They lost only to the University of Ghana. This year they have qualified to the quarterfinal stage after their opponent failed to turn up. And that is what Valley View University would have as their record in TBSC. Please introduce yourselves, gentlemen and lady.
My name is Mrs. Okredo, level 400 BBA accounting.
I'm the person of Bright Pepra Yabua, beard accounting, level 300.
I'm Victoria Tufo Boatin, BB accounting, level 300.
You are welcome once again. So, this will be your first contest at the 2025 edition at the national level. Are you tensed?
Not at all.
How has the preparation been like?
So the preparation is just a strategy to improve and ameliorate the previous one that we did, and also to move it to another pinnacle and acme in this endeavor. Thank you.
Are you Aristotle or which of them are you? What should the people at OEB expect from you today?
There is a saying that the gap between the expectation and reality is stress, and I think this contest is going to be a stressful one.
Hey. Ladies and gentlemen, I have to stop my questioning. Otherwise, what I'll hear here today. But gentlemen and lady, I wish you the very best of luck. So, ladies and gentlemen, there are two from the same zone, the southeast zone. They have not met before. Yes, but they are contesting for a place at the semi-final stage. Only one of them will survive. For one of them, this will be the end of the competition. Will it be the Valley View University or will it be the Heritage Christian University? Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Al Hassan Yusuf Traore, and I'm proud to be your moderator for this contest. The contest is going to be organized in 6 rounds. Round 1 is on theory, round 2 calculations. Round 3 will be our business case of the day. Round 4, graphic business segment. Round 5, true or false. Round 6 will be the riddles. Please, are you ready? Valley View. Are you ready? Heritage. I'm going to begin round 1 from the Valley View University. Valley View University, you are beginning this round for us. All right. So for this set of questions, you have one attempt only. One attempt only. Please take note. In contract law, the enforceability or discharge of obligations. So this is a common preamble to the two of you. In contract law, the enforceability or discharge of obligations may depend on the occurrence or non-occurrence of certain conditions. Understanding the type of condition is critical for determining rights and remedies. So you have to identify the type of condition that is illustrated in each scenario and explain its legal effects on the contractual obligations of the parties. Identify the type of condition illustrated in each scenario and explain its legal effect on the contractual obligations of the parties. Valley View. A food distributor agrees to supply fresh seafood to Papaya Fast Foods every Friday on a cash-on-delivery basis. On one occasion, the supplier shows up with the goods, but Papaya had not arranged payment, leading to a standoff. A food distributor agrees to supply the fresh seafood to Papaya Fast Foods every Friday on a cash-on-delivery basis. On one occasion, the supplier shows up with the goods, but Papaya had not arranged payment, leading to a standoff. Even bailed out. Bonus for heritage.
So it's a breach of contract when one party fails to fulfill his part of the contract.
That is not correct. That's not what I'm looking for. Now your major question, Heritage Christian University. Kakari Limited agrees to acquire a telecommunications company, but the contract states that the deal is subject to approval from the National Communications Authority. The buyer refuses to proceed because approval was not granted within the stipulated time. Kakari Limited agrees to acquire a telecommunications company, but the contract states that the deal is subject to approval from the National Communications Authority. The buyer refuses to proceed because approval was not granted within the stipulated time.
So it's there was legal binding. So they waited for there was no legal binding, so that was what hindered the contract.
That is not accepted. Valley View University, you have a bonus. Okay. So there are 3 main types of conditions in the law of contract. We have condition precedent, condition subsequent, and condition concurrent condition. Condition precedent are those conditions that you need to fulfill before the contract can be entered into. For condition subsequent, they are conditions that are present after the end of the contract or after you've signed the contract. And we have concurrent conditions. They are those conditions that are present in the course of you fulfilling the contract. So the one I asked Value View earlier on was condition concurrent or concurrent condition. And your major question was condition precedent. Next set of questions, still beginning with Value View University. Common preamble. In dynamic markets, understanding how quantity demanded responds to price changes is essential for setting optimal pricing strategies. Elasticity of demand can significantly influence a firm's revenue outcomes. So you have to identify the type of price elasticity of demand illustrated in the scenario I'll give to you and explain its impact on total revenue. Identify the type of price elasticity of demand illustrated and explain its impact on total revenue. Valley View University. A learning platform raises its subscription fee from 100 cedis to 120 cedis. The number of monthly subscribers falls from 500 to 400. A learning platform raises its subscription fee from 100 cedis to 120 cedis. The number of monthly subscribers fall from 500 to 400.
Okay, so the price elasticity of demand here is inelastic demand because when there is 100 to 120. Okay, so this is inelastic demand because when there is a change in price from 100 to 120, it leads to a smaller change in the quantity demanded. And the impact on total revenue is that when even price increases, the total revenue will still increase.
I'm not taking that. Bonus for Heritage Christian University.
So it's fairly elastic demand because an increase in the price from 100 to 120 led to the reduction of quantity demanded from 500 to 400, which also led to the decrease in total revenue from 50,000 to 48,000.
I won't take that as well. Now your major question, Heritage Christian University. A coffee chain reduces the price of its premium brew from 50 cedis to 48 cedis. Sales increase from 1,000 cups per week to 2,020. A coffee chain reduces the price of its premium brew from 50 cedis to 48 cedis. Sales increase from 1,000 cups per week to 1,020.
So is a
Even bailed out. Bonus for Valley View University.
Okay, so this is unitary elastic demand because equal change in the price leads to equal change in the quantity demanded and the percentage change. And when you take the impact on total revenue will still remain the same.
That is not correct either. It is an inelastic demand. Well, when you compute, I believe you are supposed to compute the percentage, right? It's a percentage change. But you are just using your eyes to determine. That doesn't work. You need to find a percentage change. If you had computed a percentage change, you will have gotten the answers correct. Next set of questions. Still beginning with Valley View University. Valley View. Common preamble to the two of you. In international business, national culture shapes workplace expectations, communication and leadership styles. Hofstede's cultural dimensions help organizations navigate these differences effectively. Identify the most relevant Hofstede cultural dimension illustrated in the scenario and explain what a high or low score on that dimension suggests about the cultural values and workplace behavior. Please, you get a preamble. All right. So, Valley View University, your scenario: a software firm in country D adopts a team-based reward structure. Employees emphasize group harmony, share credit, and avoid personal praise. Staff turnover is low, and loyalty to the company is highly valued. A software firm in company D adopts a team-based reward structure. Employees emphasize group harmony, share credit, and avoid personal praise. Staff turnover is low, and loyalty to the company is highly valued.
So we see here more of a team organizational culture where everyone is not taking the recognition for him or herself, but rather they are more loyal and dedicated to the organization.
So there are specific answers that I want. I'm not taking that. Bonus to Heritage Christian University.
So the Hofstede model is individualism versus collectivism. And for this case, they are collectivists because they advocate for group harmony, shared value, and there's reduced turnover.
Yes, that is correct. Your major question, Heritage Christian University. A tech company's leadership in country C hesitates to invest in new ventures without exhaustive forecasting and legal assurances. Policies are rigid and deviations are discouraged, even in innovative departments. A tech company's leadership in country C hesitates to invest in new ventures without exhaustive forecasting and legal assurances. Policies are rigid and deviations are discouraged, even in innovative departments.
So the Hofstede model is short-term versus long-term, and the organization do not want to go long-term in the sense that because there is uncertainty, they don't know if it's going to work or it's not going to work.
I won't take that. Bonus is available to Valley View. So we are looking at the uncertainty avoidance. That is what I was looking for, and this is quite high. For the next set of questions, I'm beginning with Heritage Christian University this time. Heritage Christian University, you are beginning this round for me. The Public Financial Management Act, Act 921, provides the legal framework for sound fiscal discipline, transparency, and accountability in Ghana's public sector. It's a common preamble. So key provisions under the Act regulate how public funds are budgeted, authorized, and spent. Explain the following provisions of the PFM Act, or explain the provisions of the PFM Act in respect of the following. Please, did you get a preamble? So I'm going to give you some provisions of the PFM Act. You need to explain what the law says about them. Heritage, yours is expenditure in advance of appropriation. Expenditure in advance of appropriation. What are the provisions of the PFM Act in respect of that?
For expenditure in advance of appropriation, the Act says the government should their budget, they shouldn't spend more than what they budgeted, and they should try as much as possible to take advantage of cost reduction and value for money.
I'm not taking that. We are just joining words together. Bonus for Valley View University.
Okay, so for expenditure in advance of appropriation, the provision here is, one, it needs approval from the parliament and also any executive in the Ministry of Finance. Either maybe appropriation is made to district or any of the local government.
I won't accept that. Your major question, Yours is budgeting on a gross basis. Budgeting on a gross basis. Valley View. You've been bailed out. Bonus for Heritage.
So for budgeting on a gross basis, the act,
Let's. All right. So there are certain tools in the PFM Act that are used to manage the national economy. The first one I mentioned was expenditure in advance of appropriation. So usually, we know government can only spend once Parliament passes the national budget. Now, there are some situations where at the start of the year, Parliament wouldn't have been able to pass the budget. And that would mean that government cannot spend. And obviously, that will bring the country to a halt. So the PFM Act allows the president to make a request, send a request to Parliament to give the president the power to spend for the first 3 months of the year whilst they work on approving the budget. That's what we call expenditure in advance of appropriation. Appropriation here simply refers to budgets. So the kind of expenditure that you make before the budget is approved. The second one was budgeting on a gross basis. This simply means that the national budget, in preparing it, they should not net off transaction, revenue, and expenditure items. You need to disclose them at gross without netting them off. I hope you get that. All right. Next set of questions. Still beginning with you, Heritage. Common preamble, one attempt only. One attempt only. Common preamble. Understanding the shape of data distributions is crucial in statistical analysis and decision making. Measures such as kurtosis and skewness help analysts assess the risks of extreme values or asymmetry, which may affect forecasting, hypothesis testing, and financial modeling. Identify the statistical distribution concepts that is being illustrated in each scenario and explain its implication for data analysis or decision making. Identify the statistical distribution concept that is being illustrated in each scenario and explain its implications. Heritage Christian University. An analyst observes that a mutual fund's monthly return distribution has a kurtosis value of positive 3.7 with a sharp peak and frequent extreme values in the tail. An analyst observes that a mutual fund's monthly return distribution has a kurtosis value of plus 3.7 with a sharp peak and frequent extreme values in the tails. What type of kurtosis or statistical distribution concept is this?
So,
bonus for Valley View.
okay, so this is kurtosis with high, with a positive figure. So it means that it is skewed to the right, and it is skewed to the right, and it's a normal distribution.
That is not correct. That is not correct. Now the last. Okay, your major question, Valley View. A manufacturing quality audit. Please let me check this. A retail chain's customer satisfaction scores show a kurtosis close to 0 and a bell-shaped histogram. A retail chain customer satisfaction scores show a kurtosis close to 0 and a bell-shaped histogram.
Okay, so this is a normal distribution, and it shows that all the given data are equally distributed.
This time I will accept it. That is correct. Now the last set of questions for this round. Last set of questions for this round. All right. So effective data management is critical for organizations seeking to harness data for strategy, compliance, and operational efficiency. Concepts like data governance, visualization, stewardship, and quality assurance shape how data is structured, protected, and used for decision making. Identify the primary data management concepts that is illustrated in each scenario and explain one reason why it is important for the organization. So you have to identify the data management concepts in the scenario and explain why it is important for the organization. Heritage Christian University. A business analyst creates a dashboard that automatically pulls and updates marketing metrics in real time using visual KPIs, replacing static reports, and improving insight delivery. A business analyst creates a dashboard that automatically pulls and updates marketing metrics in real time using visual KPIs, replacing static reports, and improving insight delivery.
Text-based what? The concept would be text-based what? Technology-based data management.
I'm not taking that.
Oh, okay.
Bonus for Valley View.
Okay, so this is a dashboard visualization where intelligent tools like Power BI can be used, and the implication for the organization is that it will help them be able to visualize their performances and also be able to know how well or whether they are performing well or whether they are not doing well. And it will help the organization at a glance understand what or how the business is moving.
That is correct. Now the last question for this round. The Chief Operating Officer appoints a designated staff member to oversee product-related data, ensuring that updates are timely, standards are applied, and questions from IT or marketing are addressed effectively. The Chief Operating Officer appoints a designated staff member to oversee product-related data, ensuring that updates are timely, standards are applied, and questions from IT or marketing are addressed effectively.
Okay, so this is a customer feedback system where the company will be able to get information and feedback from the customers so that they'll be able to improve upon their services.
I'm not taking that. Bonus for Heritage.
So for this, they look at the performance of each product and measure their efficiencies.
No, that is not correct. I even mentioned the concepts to you at the start of the question. So concepts like data governance, visualization, stewardship, and quality assurance before I even read out the question. So what I'm talking about here is data stewardship, where someone is identified and given some form of empowerment and all issues relating to data are addressed to that person. On that note, we come to the end of round one. Heritage, how did the first round go?
Not as expected, but we have 5 more rounds to go. So
Definitely. Valley View, how was it? How did the first round go?
So it's still a work in progress. We definitely do better.
Definitely, you have to do better, ladies and gentlemen. We'll take the scores and then we'll progress to round 2. At the end of round 1, Heritage Christian University had a single point. Valley View University had 4 points. I believe that round 2 will be better for both of you, so please get ready. Each of you will attempt 6 major questions. I'm beginning this round from Heritage Christian University. You will have 30 seconds within which to give me an answer for 3 points if it's your major question and 1 point if it's your bonus. Please, are you ready? Yes. All right, so Heritage. In a complex digital transformation project, coordination is required between 3 departments: marketing, sales, and IT. The total coordination effort is 120 hours, distributed in a ratio of 3:4:5 respectively. The hourly coordination costs are: marketing 150 cedis per hour, sales 200 cedis per hour, IT 180 cedis per hour for up to 40 hours. Any hours beyond 40 for IT are billed at a 25% overtime premium. Calculate the total coordination cost for the project, considering the standard and overtime rates. I take it again. In a complex digital transformation project, coordination is required between 3 departments: marketing, sales, and IT. The total coordination effort is 120 hours, distributed in a ratio 3:4:5 respectively. The hourly coordination costs are: marketing 150 cedis per hour, sales 200 cedis per hour, IT 180 cedis per hour for up to 40 hours. Any hours beyond 40 for IT are billed at a 25% overtime premium. Calculate the total coordination cost for a project, considering the standard and overtime rates.
So we have the standard is 21,500.
No, okay. You want to continue? Your time is up. You cannot give any different answer. Is that 21,500? Is that the answer you gave? Hey,
21,200.
it is not correct. Bonus for Valley View.
Okay, so we have the answer, the total cost to be 20,150.
It is not correct either. It is not correct. So I'll give you the correct answer soon. Valley View University, a cross-functional innovation team from operations, research and development, and tech, shares 150 coordination hours in the ratio 2:3:5 respectively. Hourly rates are: operations 130 cedis per hour, R&D 160 cedis per hour, tech 190 cedis per hour for the first 50 hours. 30% surcharge for hours beyond 50. Calculate the total coordination cost. A cross-functional innovation team from operations, R&D, and tech shares 150 coordination hours in the ratio 2:3:5 respectively. Hourly rates are: operations 130 cedis per hour, R&D is 160 cedis per hour, tech is 190 cedis per hour for the first 50 hours. There's a 30% surcharge for hours that are beyond 50 for the tech. Calculate the total coordination cost.
Okay, so we have We have the answer to be the total cost to be 45,400.
It is not correct, even bailed out. Bonus for heritage.
25,875.
No, you were close, but not exact. 26,775. Same as the first one, which was 21,950. Next set of questions. Still begin with heritage. CompuGhana made the following inventory transactions during the period. First, it purchased 80 units at 30 cedis each. Next, it purchased 120 units at 40 cedis each. It then issued 100 units from inventory. After that, it purchased an additional 200 units at 35 cedis each. Finally, it issued another 150 units. Using the weighted average method, calculate the value of the closing inventory at the end of the period. CompuGhana made the following inventory transactions during the period. First, it purchased 80 units at 30 cedis each. Next, it purchased 120 units at 40 cedis each. It then issued 100 units from inventory. After that, it purchased an additional 200 units at 35 cedis each. Finally, it issued another 150 units. Using the weighted average method, calculate the value of the closing inventory at the end of the period. Bonus to Valley View. Are the questions too difficult? Oh, the contestants are saying no. Okay. Your major question, Valley View. Okpoti Limited made the following inventory transaction during the month of June. On June 1, it purchased 120 units at 25 cedis each. On June 5, it purchased an additional 80 units at 35 cedis each. On June 10, it issued 150 units to production. June 18, it purchased 100 units at 30 cedis each. On June 25, it issued 60 units. Using the weighted average cost method, calculate the value of the closing inventory at the end of June. Okpoti Limited made the following inventory transaction during the month of June. June 1, it purchased 120 units at 25 cedis each. June 5, purchased an additional 80 units at 35 cedis each. June 10, issued 150 units to production. June 18, purchased 100 units at 30 cedis each. June 25, issued 60 units. Using the weighted average cost method, calculate the value of the closing inventory at the end of June.
Okay, so we have the amount to be we have it to be
Okay, so we have the answer to be
Please give the answer now.
90 units at 30 Ghana cedis. So the total inventory will be 90 times 30. So we have 90 units at 2,700.
I'm not taking that. Bonus for heritage.
Okay, so the units would be 90 at, I forgot that, but the total would be 10,824.
No. It is 2,669.80. The earlier question was 5,300.5. I'm actually surprised. All right, next set of questions. Maybe I should. Let me give you one that. Okay, heritage. Heritage, let's do this. An investor earns a nominal return of 30% on an investment. The inflation rate is 10%, and the tax return on returns is the tax rate on returns is 25%. Calculate the investor's after-tax real return. An investor earns a nominal return of 30% on an investment. The inflation rate is 10%, and the tax rate on returns is 25%. Calculate the investor's after-tax real return.
No. 20%.
No, you have one other chance.
0.35.
No, it is not 0.05. Bonus for Valley View.
So we have 20.25%.
No. Your major question, Valley View. An investor earns a nominal return of 24% on a portfolio. The inflation rate is 8%, and the investor pays 30% tax on returns. Calculates the after-tax real return. An investor earns a nominal return of 24% on a portfolio. The inflation rate is 8%, and the investor pays 30% tax on returns. Calculate the after-tax real return.
%16.8%.
You have one other chance.
Okay, so we have the answer to be 1.344.
No, please. Bonus is available to you, Heritage.
18.144.
What?
18.
No. It is 8.15. 8.15. Next set of questions. You should get some for me, please. I love violence, but not this kind, please. All right, Valley View, get this for me. Next set, I'm beginning with Valley View. An intangible asset initially capitalized at 300,000 cedis is being amortized over 10 years on a straight line basis. After 6 years, the company incurs 50,000 cedis to upgrade the asset and extend its useful life to a total of 12 years. At the same time, an impairment loss of 20,000 cedis is recognized. Calculate the new annual amortization expense for the remaining life. An intangible asset initially capitalized at 300,000 cedis is being amortized over 10 years on a straight line basis. After 6 years, the company incurs 50,000 cedis to upgrade the asset and extend its useful life to a total of 12 years. At the same time, an impairment loss of 20,000 cedis is recognized. Calculate the new annual amortization expense for the remaining life.
So the new amortization will be 28,333.33.
No, you have one other chance.
$30,000.
It is not 30,000. Bonus is available to Heritage. Wow. This is fairly simple. Your major question, Heritage. An intangible asset was acquired for 240,000 cedis and amortized over 8 years using the straight line method. After 5 years, the company spent 36,000 cedis to upgrade the assets, which extended its total useful life to 10 years. At the same time, the company recognized an impairment loss of 18,000 cedis. Calculate a new annual amortization for the remaining life. An intangible asset was acquired for 240,000 cedis and amortized over 8 years using the straight line method. After 5 years, the company spent 36,000 cedis to upgrade the asset, which extended its useful life to 10 years. At the same time, the company recognized an impairment loss of 18,000 cedis. Calculate a new amortization for the remaining life.
16.8 years.
No.
The impairment loss 16,008. Yeah.
37,800.
No, it is 21,600. So the asset costs 240,000. If we are amortizing it over 8 years, what will be the annual depreciation rate? 30,000. So they used it for after 5 years. So that means a total depreciation or amortization of 150,000 was charged. So what will be the book value as at that time? 240 minus 150 is 90,000, right? And we are told that they incurred 36,000 to upgrade. So we added 36 to the 90,000. Okay? And we are also told that they had an impairment loss of 18,000. So you subtract 18. And then you divide the difference by the useful life that is remaining. So if it was 8 years and they used 5, it means they have 3 years left, and now they've increased it to 10 years. So it means that they have a total of 5 years. Next set of questions. All right. Value View. MTN Ghana is evaluating a project that requires an initial investment of 120,000 cedis. 120,000 cedis. The project is expected to generate net cash inflows of 30,000 cedis in year 1, 35,000 cedis in year 2, 38,000 cedis in year 3, and 40,000 cedis in year 4. If the appropriate discount rate is 10%, calculate the discounted payback period for the project. MTN Ghana is evaluating a project that requires an initial investment of 120,000 cedis. The project is expected to generate net cash inflows of 30,000 in year 1, 35,000 in year 2, 38,000 in year 3, and 40,000 in year 4. If the appropriate discount rate is 10%, calculate the discounted payback period for the project.
So in year 1 we have 120,000. Year 2 90,000. Year 3 55,000. So
Okay. So we have the payback period as 3.45 years.
No. Heritage. Bonus for you. Your major question, Heritage. GCB Bank invests 100,000 cedis in a project that is expected to generate net cash inflows of 25,000 cedis in year 1, 30,000 cedis in year 2, 35,000 cedis in year 3, and 40,000 cedis in year 4. If the appropriate discount rate is 12%, calculate the discounted payback period for the project. GCB Bank invest 100,000 cedis in a project that is expected to generate net cash inflows of 25,000 cedis in year 1, 30,000 cedis in year 2, 35,000 cedis in year 3, and 40,000 cedis in year 4. If the applicable discount rate is 12%, calculate the discounted payback period for the project. Bonus for you, Heritage. Oh, who has a bonus? Is it Heritage? Yes. Valley View. Valley View, go ahead. Yeah.
3.29 years.
No, it is 4.14. The first one was 4.29. And now the last set of questions for this round. Hey. Please get this last question for me, okay? All right. Who is starting? I think it's Valley View, right? Yes. Valley View, your major question. Benny Estate received 980,000 cedis in rent during the year ended 31st December 2024. Rent in arrears on 1st January 2024 was 20,000 cedis. Rent in arrears on 31st December 2024 was 30,000 cedis, but 6,000 of this is deemed irrecoverable. Rent received in advance was 55,000 cedis at the beginning and 60,000 cedis at the end of the year. Determine the amount of rent income to be reported in the P&L account. I take it again. Benny Estates received 980,000 cedis in rent during the year ended 31st December 2024. Rent in arrears on 1st January 2024 was 20,000 cedis. Rent in arrears on 31st December 2024 was 30,000 cedis, but 6,000 cedis of this is deemed irrecoverable. Rent received in advance was 55,000 cedis at the beginning and 60,000 cedis at the end of the year. Determine the amount of rent income to be reported in the P&L account.
So the amount to be reported is 979,000.
Yes. So finally, and now to you, Heritage. Please get this for me. Akoto Rentals received 1,250,000 cedis in rent during the year ended 31st March 2024. Rent in arrears was 30,000 cedis on 1st April 2023 and 38,000 cedis on 31st March 2024. Of the 38,000 cedis arrears, 5,000 cedis was written off as bad debts. Rent received in advance increased from 40,000 cedis to 55,000 cedis during the year. Determine the rent income for the year to be reported in the income statement. Akoto Rentals received 1,250,000 cedis in rent during the year ended 31st March 2024. Rent in arrears was 30,000 cedis on 1st April 2023 and 38,000 cedis on 31st March 2024. Of the 38,000 cedis arrears, 5,000 cedis was written off as bad debt. Rent received in advance increased from 40,000 cedis to 55,000 cedis over the year. Determine the rent income for the year to be reported in the income statement.
Oh, 1,265,000.
No, you have one other chance.
$1,255,000.
I'm not taking that. Bonus for Valley View.
So we have 1,238,000.
Yes, that is correct. On that note, we come to the end of round 2. It is not easy at all. Value, you had it around 2 go. Is it going as planned?
Not at all, sir.
Not at all. What is happening?
But we are hoping for the best.
Certainly, we have to hope for the best. Heritage, how is the contest going? How did the round 2 go for you?
We don't know, but we have 4 more rounds to go.
Definitely, there are 4 more rounds. 4 more to go. Ladies and gentlemen, the scores for round 2. Hey. At the end of round 2, Heritage had no point. Valley View had 4 points. We are going into round 3. Business case of the day. This time we are doing something on accounting. Please, you may take your problem for us to go through together. So complete the balance sheet. That's a statement of financial position for Academic Violence Limited based on the following financial data. So we have assets. Under assets, we have cash, marketable securities, account receivable, inventories. We have non-current asset. We have less accumulated depreciation and some carrying amount. For liabilities and shareholders' equity, we have account payable, note payable, accruals. We have preference shares, ordinary shares at par, paid-in capital in excess of par, retained earnings, and then the total shareholders' equity. Then we provided some key financial data. Sales total 720,000 cedis. Gross profit margin was 38.7%. Inventory turned 6 times. There are 360 days in a year. Average collection period was 31 days. Current ratio was 2.35. Total asset turnover was 2.81. Debt ratio was 49.4%. Current assets equal 159,565. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is the business case of the day. You may start work now. You have 10 minutes to provide your solution. Thank you very much. Welcome back from that break. It is still the Tertiary Business Sense Challenge. This is still round 3, business case of the day. The two schools were given a problem in accounting where they were supposed to complete the statement of financial position, giving some information and financial data. And they were supposed to complete some empty spaces with lettered numbers, with letters that they were supposed to get the figures for. So let's look at what the complete set of financial statement or the statement of financial position will look like. We were told that we could start from the last one where we were told that the total current asset cost or equal 159,565. So that is quite straightforward. It's one of the guesses you're supposed to identify. That's more like a bonus. You just enter that. That is in D. Then once you're able to get D, we use the current equation or current ratio to be able to determine the total current liabilities, which should be a simple change of subjects. So once you do that, you have current liabilities figure of about 67,900. Now once you get the current liabilities figure, you can now move on to the current asset and then complete what we have left using the inventory turnover ratio. Okay, we're also given gross profit margin of 38.7%. If you are given gross profit margin of 38.7% and your sales totaled 720,000, that should be able to help you to compute the cost of sales. Once you get the cost of sales, you'll be able to compute the inventory figure in that order. So the complete set looks like this. The cash is 8005. That was provided in the question. Marketable securities will be 16,000. Account receivable 62,000. Inventory 73,560. Total current asset 159,565. Non-current asset 146,663. Accumulated depreciation was given, and then the carrying amount, you calculate that. We have total asset figure. We have, when we go to the liabilities and shareholders' equity, we have accounts payable, notes payable, in that order until you get to the total liabilities and equity. There are about 13 or 14 items you need to compute, but any 10 of them, and you have the full marks. Now let's look at what Value View did. It wasn't easy, eh? So they started by attempting to compute the current ratio because they got the information for the current assets. They wanted to use that to compute the current ratio, where they indicated that the current ratio 2.35I is equal to 159,565. By what they did, they got a figure of 67,938, which is not actually correct, so I'm not taking that. Then they also computed, how do we call it, the gene. What is the gene for? The total assets. Because the current, the gene, they got 256,227.76. 256,227.56. I'll give that to them. It's just an approximation. For inventory, I think they could not complete that. For current asset, they provided a 129,651, which is acceptable. For their effort, I'll give them 1 in addition, so they get 3 out of 10. For heritage, they did not get the L correct. L is the total shareholders' equity. They wrote that, but it's not correct. But the D, 159,565 is correct. The D, the total current assets. They got the 67,900 also correct, which is the I, that is the total current liabilities. And then they got H also correct, the note payable. But just like I did for Value View, I add 1 to them as well. So for the I, they get 4 out of 10. So ladies and gentlemen, at the end of round 3, Value View had 3 points, Heritage Christian University had 4 points. Ladies and gentlemen, please show some love to them on stage. It's not easy. Are you effecting any substitutions for the round 4? If you are, please go ahead now. You're welcome, sir. And madam. Okay, so sir, kindly introduce yourself.
I'm Watson Elvis, BBA accounting level 200.
Okay, and who do we have from Heritage?
Priscilla Frempong, accounting and computing level 200.
You're welcome. Are you ready, Valley View?
Yes, sir.
Heritage, are you ready? Okay, so we are going into round 4. I'm beginning from Valley View University. In this round, I'm going to ask you questions of some stories that appeared in the Graphic Business newspaper. Each of you will attempt 6 major questions. For a major question, you have 10 seconds to give me an answer. If it's a bonus, you have 5 seconds. Beginning with Valley View University. Valley View. 88 professionals have been inducted into the Chartered Institute of Logistics and Transport, with a call on them to uphold the highest ethical standards in order to contribute meaningfully to the progress of the profession in the country. What was the theme for the induction ceremony? What was the theme for the induction ceremony where 88 professionals were inducted by the CILT?
Upholding professional standard and value for national development.
Yes. Heritage, your task is simple. What was the theme for the 3rd quarter Graphic Business Stanbic Bank Breakfast Meeting? What is the theme for the 3rd quarter Graphic Business Stanbic Bank Breakfast Meeting?
Dissecting.
Bonus for Valley View.
Okay, so we have it to be sustainable forest gains, business and economic impact.
Yes, sustaining forest gains, business and... Next set of questions, common preamble to the two of you. I'm beginning with Valley View. An expo to offer a unique opportunity for aspiring homeowners and vehicle owners was recently organized by Fidelity Bank in Ghana. They showcase top real estate developers. Mention any 3 of these real estate developers each at that expo. An expo was organized to showcase homeowners or for homeowners and vehicle owners, organized by Fidelity Bank. You have to mention any 3 real estate developers who were at the expo, beginning with Valley View.
Okay, so we have real estate developers from Ashama real estate developers and Sivan developers.
Okay, 1 out of 3. You have your opportunity.
Okay, so we have GHS Housing, Apollonia Development, and then Eco Block Development.
Yes. Next set of questions, common preamble to the two of you. In common preamble, in today's volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous business environment, the role of marketing has never been more vital. For SMEs to scale and compete effectively, they must recognize that marketing is not simply about interacting with customers. It is about systematically identifying and responding to market opportunities. Now, your question. Value view. Mention and explain briefly any 3 rules of marketing in SME growth, as mentioned by Dr. Ibn Khailan Abdul Hamid in his article titled Marketing is Not Customer Service, a Strategic Imperative for SME Competitiveness. Mention and explain briefly any 3 rules of marketing in SME growth, as mentioned in the article by Dr. Ibn Khailan Abdul Hamid.
So conducting customer feedback, they should also conduct. So it will help them conduct customer feedback. It will also help them build customer relationship, good customer relationship, as well as to be consumer centric or customer centric.
I'm not taking that. Bonus for heritage.
Okay, so we have market research and environmental scanning. Marketing will help SMEs to do market research so that they will know what consumers actually really need. Then we have segmentation and segmentation. As for that one, segmentation and target customers. For that one, when they incorporate marketing, they will be able to know their target population, and then they will make high impact on them, provide what they want for them. Then we have brand recognition. Brand recognition. So they will be able to do things when they use marketing and get their results. They will be able to do things that appeal to the taste and preferences of the consumers, and so they will be in the consumers' minds.
I'll accept that. Now, your major question, heritage. Mention and explain briefly any 3 risks SMEs may face when they treat customer service as the entirety of marketing, as mentioned in the article. Mention and explain briefly any 3 risks SMEs may face when they treat customer service as the entirety of marketing, as mentioned in the article.
So one is they will not know what their target customers or what the consumers really want. So they will not develop products that will satisfy their needs. And another one is they will put in measures that will also not satisfy the needs of the consumers because they don't know their target marketing. And also they will waste resources because they may develop products, but those products will not be the preference of the consumers.
2 out of 3. For the next set of questions, I'm beginning with you, heritage. Heritage, you are beginning the next set for me. Common preamble to the 2 schools. It is credible that until now, no multinational business in Ghana has been cited for unethical business practice. A number of preponderant ethical issues have permeated international business in host states over time. You have to mention any 3 of these ethical issues. I take it again. Mention any 3 ethical issues which have still not been reported by any multinational business in Ghana. Let me take that question. It is credible that until now, no multinational business in Ghana has been cited for unethical business practice. Now, there are a number of ethical issues in international business. Mention any 3 of these ethical issues.
So we have tax evasion, bribery and corruption, and then human rights abuse.
Yes, that is correct. Your time, your chance.
Okay, so we have aiding the international business, abusing the the right of...
Human rights has been mentioned.
Okay, so we have corruption.
Corruption has been mentioned.
We have money laundering and bribery.
Bribery and corruption work together. I'm not... Okay. There are other ones, but of course, time is up. There's no bonus here, please. So there are other ones like environmental pollution. There's also indecent conditions of employment. There's plying back all profit to home states, refusing to engage in ethical investment by floating shares on the local stock exchange for participation by locals, etc. Next set of questions, still beginning with you, Heritage. What was the cost to income ratio for Republic Bank for 2023, 2024, and the difference in the percentage? What was the cost to income ratio for Republic Bank PLC for 2023, 2024, and the difference in the percentages?
Um, 249
What?
million cedis and
Bonus to Valley View University.
Okay, in 2023 we have 49.67, and in 2024 we have 36.42.
I'm not accepting that. Your major question. Valley View. What was the net interest margin for Republic Bank for 2023, 2024, and the difference in the percentages? What was the net interest margin for Republic Bank for 2023, 2024, and the difference in the percentages?
Okay, in 2023 we have 38.9%, and in 2024 we have okay. In 2024 we have 37.71, and the difference is 1.19%.
That is not correct. Bonus is available to Heritage. All right. So 2023 was 8.86%, 2024 was 7.87%. The difference is negative 0.99%. For the first question that I asked Heritage, 2023 was 57.65%, 2024 58.71%, then the difference was 1.06. And now the last set of questions, beginning with a common preamble and still with Heritage University. Common preamble. Linda Dedenyenya Inkum wrote an article on farming undercover, promise, risks of greenhouse technology in Ghana in the July 8th edition of the Graphic Business. Greenhouse farming holds vast potential for transforming Ghana's agricultural landscape. That's the preamble. Please, did you get that? Now, Heritage. Mention any three benefits of greenhouse farming. Mention any three benefits of greenhouse farming.
Benefits of greenhouse farming: improved food security, improved exportation, and then processing and packaging of commodities to add value proposition.
That's fine. And now to you, Valley View. The success of greenhouse farming depends not only on productivity, but on how well the system safeguards its workforce. Mention any three
Skin condition.
Skin. Okay.
We have skin condition. We have the reduction of chemical and pesticides. We also have the carbon diseases.
2 out of 3. On that note, we come to the end of round 4, ladies and gentlemen. It's not easy to be on the hot seat. It's not easy at all. So you guys are doing very well. Please don't be too hard on yourselves. There are 2 more rounds to go, the true or false segment and the riddles. But before then, we will take the scores for round 4. All right. So whilst we wait for the scores, we are reminded that the program is brought to us by Graphic Business in partnership with ICAG. It is a Tertiary Business Sense challenge. Our sponsors include Glyco Life, PwC, Gold Ghana, Papaya Fast Foods, Zenith University College, EPP Book Services, Ghana National Association of Teachers, Compu Ghana, GCB Bank, as well as MTN Ghana. A place at the semi-final is at stake. The first quarter-final contest saw the University of Cape Coast defeating the Wisconsin International University College to be the first school to book their place at the semi-final. One of these two schools will join the University of Cape Coast at that stage. Remember, there's no ifs or buts. If you lose, you are going home. Ladies and gentlemen, the scores for round 4. At the end of round 4, Valley View University had 7 points, Heritage Christian University had 12 points. We are going into round 5, true or false segments. And this round, I'm going to read out some statement to you. Your duty is to tell me if the statement is true or false. If you get it correct, 2 points. If you get it wrong, -1. You may decide not to answer. The other school may decide to take it up under the same conditions. Please, are we ready? I'm starting this round from Heritage Christian University, so I can feel the tension in the room already. Heritage, beginning this round from you. During a networking event in Canada, George stands about 1.5 feet from a new acquaintance while chatting. The other person seems uncomfortable and gradually steps back. Based on Hall's proxemics zones, George is likely operating within the personal zone. During a networking event in Canada, George stands 1.5 feet from a new acquaintance while chatting. The other person seems uncomfortable and gradually steps back. Based on Hall's proxemic zones, George is likely operating within the personal zone.
True.
Yes. Valley View University. In a public speech at a university auditorium, the lecturer stands about 6 feet from the front row of students. According to Hall zones, the lecturer is in the public zone. In a public speech at a university auditorium, the lecturer stands about 6 feet from the front row of students. According to Hall zones, the lecturer is in the public zone.
It's a false statement.
It is a false statement. Heritage. If two products are substitutes produced by the same single plant firm, lowering the price of one may reduce the optimal price for the other. If two products are substitutes produced by the same single plant firm, lowering the price of one may reduce the optimal price for the other.
True.
It is true. Valley View. A single plant firm that produces complementary products should always price them separately based on their individual marginal cost. A single plant firm that produces complementary products should always price them separately based on their individual marginal cost.
False.
It is false, yes. Heritage. In a vertical balance sheet, An increase in current liabilities as a percentage of total assets may indicate a rising reliance on short-term financing. In a vertical balance sheet, an increase in current liabilities as a percentage of total assets may indicate a rising reliance on short-term financing.
False.
No. Value view. A decreasing trend in operating expenses as a percentage of sales in a vertical income statement may suggest improved operational efficiency. A decreasing trend in operational expense or operating expenses as a percentage of sales in a vertical income statement may suggest improved operational efficiency.
True.
It is true. Valley View University. Using both a password and a security question constitutes valid multi-factor authentication. Using both a password and a security question constitutes valid multi-factor authentication. I begin from Valley View.
So it's a true statement.
It is not a true statement. Heritage. Multi-factor authentication is most effective when all authentication factors are from the same category to ensure consistency. Multi-factor authentication is most effective when all authentication factors are from the same category to ensure consistency.
False.
Yes. Valley View University. If R squared is 0.9, it means the regression model is appropriate for making causal inferences. If R squared is 0.9, it means the regression model is appropriate for making causal inferences.
False.
Yes. Heritage. A simple linear regression model with an R squared of 0 implies that the independent variable has no linear relationship with the dependent variable. A simple linear regression model with an R squared of 0 implies that the independent variable has no linear relationship with the dependent variable.
True.
Yes. And now the last set of questions for this round. Last set of questions. Value view. How many? I think we've done 5. We are now going to the last set. Yes. Okay. Value view. Child education relief can be claimed for a niece or nephew in school, provided the taxpayer bears full responsibility. Child education relief can be claimed for a niece or nephew in school, provided the taxpayer bears full responsibility for that child.
True.
It is not. And now the last one for heritage. A taxpayer who qualifies for marriage or responsibility relief and old age relief can claim both in the same year. A taxpayer who qualifies for marriage or responsibility relief and old age relief can claim both in the same year.
True.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of round 5. There is still one final round to go. That will be on the riddles. So it is getting tensions. Only one will qualify to the semi-finals. None of these two schools have ever made it to the semi-final. So it will be historic to see who will qualify, ladies and gentlemen. So we will get our scores for round 5 and then we'll take it from there. If our scores are ready, please, let's take them for round 5. Valley View University had 6 points. Heritage had 9 points. Ladies and gentlemen, there will be 5 riddles in all. The riddles are open to both of you. The first school to ring their bell will be required to give an answer in 10 seconds. If you get it wrong, you can no longer partake in that particular riddle. If there are further clues, I'll read them for the hearing of the remaining school. If you get it correct on the first attempt, 5 points. Correct on the second clue, 4 points. Or correct on any other clue thereafter is 4 points. No, 3 points. Please, are we ready? 5 riddles. Riddle number 1. The bell from Valley View. Let me hear the bells. And then Heritage. Riddle number 1. Please sign silence. I'm an agent who acts on behalf of my principal. I may be general, special or limited, revocable or irrevocable. Are most commonly used in corporate meetings, shareholder vote or board meetings. I need not be a shareholder. Valley View University.
This is proxy.
Yes. Proxy is correct. They answered on the third clue, 3 points. Riddle number 2. I am a fairly recent concept in communication over the internet. I'm a colloquial portmanteau of 2 words. I relate to a set of social conventions that facilitate interaction over networks, ranging from Usenet and mailing lists to blogs and forums. I help to promote respectful communication, prevent misunderstanding or offense, encourage constructive interactions, and maintain a positive digital environment. I'm the code of proper behavior and courtesy one should follow when communicating over the internet, including emails, social media, messaging apps, forums, and other online platforms. Who am I? Heritage.
Digital etiquette.
Digital what?
Ethics. Etiquette.
I'm not taking that. Valley View.
Netiquette.
Yes, netiquette. That is 3 points. 3 points. Riddle number 3. I am a theoretical illustration in economics, characterized by a hump shape. I depict the relationship between tax rate and government tax revenue. I suggest that tax revenue initially increases as tax rates increase, but beyond a certain point, further increases in tax rates lead to a decrease in revenue. The decrease happens because high tax rate can disincentivize work, investment, or other economic activities, ultimately reducing the amount of taxable income and base. I have been a subject of considerable debate and criticism. Some argue that I provide a useful framework for understanding the relationship between tax rates and revenue, while others argue that I'm too simplistic and do not fully capture the complexities of the economy. Who am I? Heritage.
The dead tax. Dead weight loss. No. Dead tax.
No, that is not correct. Okay, so nobody answered. We can move on. Riddle number 4. I am an anomaly discovered in behavioral finance. Herr Schäffrin and Meyer Statman identified and named me in their 1985 paper, which found that people dislike losing significantly more than they enjoy winning. Valley View University.
Loss aversion.
No, that is not what I want. 3. I've been described as one of the foremost vigorous actualities around individual investors because investors will hold stock that have lost value, yet sell stocks that have gained value. I can be minimized by a mental approach called hedonic framing. I relate to the tendency of investors to sell assets that have increased in value while creating assets or while keeping assets that have dropped in value. Who am I? Okay. Now the last riddle, which happens to be the last question for this contest. I am a provision in a contract that protects investors or stakeholders. I identify the important individuals whose departure will significantly impact the business or fund. I typically outline actions to be taken if that important person becomes unavailable due to death, disability, or departure, which can include restrictions on new investments, buyout agreements, or succession planning requirements. By providing a mechanism to address the potential loss of a key person, I help to mitigate the risks associated with relying on the expertise of a few individuals. I'm a contractual provision designed to protect investors and businesses from the potential disruption caused by the loss of a key individual, often a key employee. Heritage.
A partnership agreement.
No. I continue for the purpose or for the benefit of Valley View. I'm a contractual provision designed to protect investors and businesses from the potential disruption caused by the loss of a key individual, often a key employee or executive, who is crucial to the firm's operation. Who am I? Yes, Valley View.
Okay, so we have staggered board.
No, that is not correct. It is known as the key man clause or key person clause. On that note, we come to the end of the contest, ladies and gentlemen. It has been a very interesting end-to-end contest between the Valley View University and the Heritage Christian University. A place at the semi-final is what they are fighting for. Only one will make it there. We will take the scores for round 6 and then we'll come back with the final scores at the end of the contest. So Heritage Christian University had no point in the round 6. Valley View University had 6 points. So ladies and gentlemen, we will come back for the final results. But before then, Valley View, what is your overall estimation of the contest that just went by?
So it didn't go as expected, but everything is good.
Heritage, did it go as expected?
No, it didn't go as expected. But this morning we read a verse that said, "May God's will be done." So, amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, and now our final results. At the end of the contest, the following are the results. Heritage Christian University had 26 points. Valley View University had 30 points. So by these results, Valley View University has qualified to the semi-final for the very first time. Congratulations to you, Valley View University. You deserve this. Heritage Christian University, unfortunately, the comeback could not happen at the end. You did very well, looking at how you started, but unfortunately, you could not end it. So this is where your journey in TBSC 2025 will have to come to an end. Thank you so much for making an appearance and for gracing our platform and for showing us what you can do. Hopefully you prepare and come back stronger next year. All right, so thank you so much, Heritage. Ladies and gentlemen, the contest, the much anticipated one between Heritage Christian University and Valley View University has come to an end. At the end of it all, Valley View University qualifies to the semi-final stage. Yes, congratulations. So in signing off, we want to show appreciation to all of you studio audience and those of you who watched us from online. We thank you for being part of this very important contest. Special appreciation to all my sponsors, MTN, PwC, Glyco Life, Goa Ghana, Papaya Fast Foods, Zenith University College, EPP Book Services, Ghana National Association of Teachers, Compu Ghana, GCB Bank, for holding us down and for bringing us this contest. On behalf of my production team, Franklin Sowa, Yvonne Ayi, Stella Logosu, George Dansu, David Ebo, NSJC, Malik Haruna, Emmanuel Amamu, Agnes Adu, Evans Minta, Alfred Akweje, Felix Tai, David Niama Bubaka, Evans Tayuba, Samuel Ansa, Emmanuel Adi, and Esther. It's been a pleasure coming your way today with this very important contest. Our next contest will also be one highly anticipated between the Pentecost University and the University of Education, Winneba. So until we meet again, my name is Al Hassan Yusuf Traule. Of course, I love academic violence. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye for now. Audience is ready. Studio audience, I must say, are gingered up. Last quarterfinal contest for day one is upon us. To Mudaraba and Musharaka in Islamic finance. I asked you to state and explain. You haven't explained. I want you to explain the points that you have mentioned. Join me as we want to experience some academic violence this afternoon. Team Gamma, 8 members with individual coding speed of 11 tasks per day, operate at 80% efficiency. Determine how many days each team will take to complete the project. Back if you should lose this one. A place at the semi-final is what is at stake. You are tempted to speak. Bonus for Central University. On that note, we come to the end of round 4A, ladies and gentlemen. Next set of questions, University of Education, Winneba. The 2024 edition of the Tertiary Business Sense Challenge has finally come to an end. How do you assess your own performance? My name is Al Hassan Yusuf Traule, and I welcome you all to join in this.